This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and far. Let's talk about it, man. You see, I have to actually do the actual continuation of the whole Scottie Pippen and the Michael Jordan situation, because you guys have to understand. There's a thing of when you're the dominant person, the inferior, endormant person always wants to reign out, to say, look at me, I'm here too. Pay attention to me, because if you don't pay attention to me, then I'm gonna have to revolt. Let me say it again. Look at me. You need to pay attention to me too, because if you don't pay attention to me too, I'm going to revolt. They have to do this at its truest and its most properest levels. Pippen is the endormant. He's the inferior endormant individual here in this situation, and he needs to understand it. His career will always be tied, will always be known as Robin. He's going to have to accept that. Michael Jordan didn't have to mold you. Michael Jordan didn't have to take your game to the next level. He chose you. Michael Jordan could have easily at that moment said, I don't want this guy. I don't want to play with this guy. I don't even know who this guy is. Find me somebody else. Michael Jordan could have made commotions with the Bulls organization to get Pippen off the team, and they would have done that. But he didn't do that. Michael Jordan, out of his own ability, saw potential in this guy. Scottie Pippen should forever be grateful for Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan was willing and able to say, you know what? I see something in you. I see greatness in you. And I'm going to exude this greatness. I'm going to take this greatness to the next level. You guys have to understand. When we look at Michael Jordan and we look at Scottie Pippen, we see the difference between Batman and Robin. Batman makes it very clear to everyone that's in the family that when it's all said and done, we're on the same team, but we're not fucking equals. Let me say it again. We're all on the same team, but we're not fucking equals. In life, someone has to be dominant. Someone has to dominate. And if someone is not being dominant and someone is not dominating, then life is not in its real state. Life is not all about reality. Now we're living in fantasy. In every genre of every relationship, someone dominates. That's just the way it rolls. People want to sit here and act like that doesn't exist, but that's facts. Someone is dominating in every aspect of every relationship. And it happens time and time and time again. Someone is exuding dominance. Someone is ingratiating their foothold. Someone is basically letting the person know, I'm in superior mode to your inferior mode. Let me say it again. I'm in superior mode to your inferior mode. With the Chicago Bulls, there's no questioning that Michael Jordan was the superior basketball player. Scottie Pippen was right there begging Michael Jordan to come back, looking at the camera. So what are we talking about here? Why are we being brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo heads? Why are we allowing ourselves to fall to the wayside to Scottie Pippen's crying? Scottie Pippen has a lot of issues that he needs to deal with. The first issue, you got done the fuck up by your woman. You got future problems. You got Michael Beasley problems. And this woman is out here continuously disrespecting you, continuously showcasing you as the beta male that you are. And you haven't cut her loose. You're sitting here and you're allowing yourself to continuously be embarrassed out here in these streets, and you haven't cut her loose. You should have been cut her loose. Because when she's for the streets, she's for the streets. Let me say it again. Once she's for the streets, she's for the streets. And you worried about Michael Jordan? Every time you get broke, every time you need a bailout financially, who's there to bail you out? Not only did Michael Jordan elevate your basketball game, he's bailing you out financially. Let me say it again. Not only did Michael Jordan bail you out financially, he elevated your fucking basketball game. This is a mixed variation. Basically, you've always been dependent upon Jordan. Basically, you've always Robin to Batman Michael Jordan. Isn't that interesting? That Scottie Pippen all these years later is hot and bothered like grits, insecure and miserable as you know what in his life, and still needs Michael Jordan to give him a pat on the back. In this case, he needs Michael Jordan to hand out the checkbook and write him a fucking check. Scottie Pippen is pathetic. Scottie Pippen is the scum of the earth. Scottie Pippen is as beta as you can fucking get. He's a pure fucking beta supreme. He's a beta cuck male. That's what he is. A beta male. He's acting as such. Beta males are always begging for alpha male's attention. What you have to understand is that when we're talking alpha and beta, he knows everything's the highest alpha male there is. At the highest degree, the highest order, the highest magnitude. You're not going to get more alpha than a he knows everything. That's just facts. So when a he knows everything tells you about alpha and beta, he's qualified, calculated, verified, and certified to tell you about alpha and beta. Because he knows everything lives the alpha male life each and every single day. Go ahead. One, you got to know your understanding, know who you are, be intertwined with yourself. Alpha males are not inferior to anyone. But in this instance, Scottie Pippen is inferior to Jordan, so that doesn't make him an alpha male. Number two, Scottie Pippen, his whole career has been dependent upon the heavyweight lifting of Michael Jordan's option one. So how does that make him an alpha male? He's a beta male. Beta males are always dependent on alpha males. They need them to bring them up. All of Scottie Pippen's greatness is basically lied up under Michael Jordan's ability to be great. That's the alpha-beta dichotomy. That shows you delineation. That shows you distinction. That shows you golfing. That shows you separation. Scottie Pippen is pathetic. Robins tend to be pathetic when they go into renegade Robin mode, i.e. Red Hood mode. We know the story about Red Hood. Red Hood was a Robin that basically did not adhere to Batman's instructions. Don't go fuck with the Joker. Because if you go fuck with the Joker, he's going to fuck you up. Because Batman is an alpha male. The Joker is an alpha male. Alphas deal with each other. They don't let beta males go and do the work. Well, Scottie Pippen had the opportunity. Jordan retired for 2+ years. Scottie Pippen had his moment. If he was going to reveal he was an alpha male, that was the moment to reveal it. And what happens? Bill Cartwright cries to Scottie Pippen because Scottie Pippen basically got told a truth serum by Phil Jackson that you're not a closer. You're a utilities man. At your truest and your most properest levels. We use you for everything. We use you for scoring. We use you for rebounding. We use you for assists. We use you for every element in the game of basketball. But we damn sure not going to use you to close games out because we know you not to be a closer. You're not Mariano Rivera. This is not Michael Jordan here. But Toni Kukoc, the Croatian sensation, was a closer when he played for European teams. Phil Jackson understood this. So this wasn't personal. This was business. And when we dealing with business, business ain't personal. Woo! What I said was so deep and profound. Woo! Let me let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. So hear me, motherfucking well. When we dealing with situations, and we're dealing with delineations, and we're dealing with golf, and we're dealing with separations of the simple aspect that Michael Jeffrey fucking Jordan was the closer that he was. He retired. Go look at Scottie Pippen. Go look at all the Chicago Bulls when Michael Jordan made that retirement speech in 93-94 season. After that season was over. Go look at them. The 92-93 season. Go ahead. The end of the 93 season. Pippen and them looked downtrodden. They looked defeated because they knew their true alpha extraordinaire, governed by true alpha economics, Godzilla edition, was no longer there. But Jerry Krause, in him not trusting in Scottie Pippen's closing ability, he went and got Toni Kukoc. Can you get mad that Toni Kukoc was already there, waiting in the abilities, waiting in the stands? And since Toni Kukoc knows how to make game-winning shots, if you go look at the Bulls that year, Toni Kukoc was making game winners all throughout the regular season and game winners in the postseason. Men lie, women lie, numbers fucking don't. In the last 5 minutes, Toni Kukoc was closing games out. So why would Phil Jackson go away from that? Why would the play go away from that? Scottie Pippen is the LeBron James. He was LeBron James before fucking LeBron James. He was LeBron James before LeBron James. He does everything right. But when it comes to clutchness, he's no longer there. He can't be found. And here's the caveat here to this situation, because we have to break this shit down at its truest and its most properest levels. You got disgruntled MJ haters. Maybe they were looking for an autograph. And MJ didn't give them an autograph. So Scottie Pippen had his little moment where Scottie Pippen could one-up Michael Jordan and say, hey man, don't be like that. Give these kids their autograph. Now, if that's Scottie Pippen's alpha moment, then so fucking be it. But to me, that's not an alpha moment. That's just a guy telling a guy when you do something wrong, or you're doing something where you're being just too much of an asshole, there's a moment where you can sit there and you could justify not being as much of a fucking asshole and just do what you gotta do. That's what that was. Jordan's a fucking asshole. We don't know what he was going through that day. We don't know what he was feeling. See, people make preconceived notions and they go by, well, I didn't get an autograph from Michael Jordan, so he's a fucking asshole. Since then, I didn't fucking like his ass. You don't know what the motherfucker was going through that day. Michael Jordan was dealing with the weight of the world of motherfuckers constantly in his face, constantly looking for attention, constantly this, constantly that. Heavy is the head that wears the fucking crown. We don't know what he was going through that day. And sometimes, you're going to take it out on the motherfucker that you least expected. It's going to happen to be a kid sometimes. That's just the way the shit rolls. So Scottie Pippen giving Jordan admonition, correction, and chastisement, that's not an alpha beta thing. It's just the right fucking thing to do. Beta males can correct alpha males. Nobody's perfect on this fucking world. But does that make the beta male alpha male? No. That's the most foolish thing anybody can fucking say. When it's all said and done, Scottie Pippen owes everything to Michael Jordan. If it wasn't for fucking Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen would not even have a lifeline. He wouldn't have an NBA career. Scottie Pippen wouldn't even be where he's fucking at. So this is one of those situations where you tried another foot. You know how when Samuel Jackson said in Marvel the Avengers, I'm the boot, you're the ant. You get the ideology, boot the fucking ant, when he had Loki inside of a chamber that was built for the fucking Hulk, and Loki couldn't get fucking out. Well, this is the same ideology. This is the same understanding. Michael Jordan is the boot. Scottie Pippen is the ant. Michael Jordan is Superman. Scottie Pippen is the ant. How many times have Michael Jordan bailed out and saved the Chicago Bulls? Did the Chicago Bulls win an NBA title when Michael Jordan was gone? I'll Hulk Hogan that. Let me say it again. Now let's re-Hulk Hogan that. Did Scottie Pippen win an NBA title when Michael Jordan was gone? How about when Scottie Pippen went to the Houston Rockets and the Portland Trailblazers? What happened to those stints? Did he win an NBA title at those moments, at those junctures, at those pivotal and critical times? If he didn't, stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense and go sit down somewhere and what? Higgity fucking hush. Those moments showcase to you what Michael Jordan was. He was Batman to Scottie Pippen's Robins. Robins can never win anything without the dependency, without them falling up under, without them bending the proverbial and fucking knee and kissing the ring while they're at it to Batman. This is the way it rolls. That's why the song says Batman. Do you hear the song say Robin? No, it says Batman and Robin. See, and Robin, meaning Robin is in what's called the subservient role. He's in the lesser role. He's in basically what we would say the role that is up under trodden foot of Batman. When it's all said and done, these are the delineations, these are the distinctions, these are the gulfs, and these are the separations. Absence admitting this, is it basically showcasing that you're either showcasing childhood trauma because Michael Jordan must have done you wrong as a fucking kid? Michael Jordan has done a lot of fucking people wrong. And a lot of people are bitter, insecure, and miserable as you know what. I've done a lot of fucking people wrong. And a lot of people are bitter, miserable, and insecure as you know what. But heavy is the head that wears the fucking crown. You motherfuckers have not stepped into a day and a life in our shoe. A day and a life in our shoe means to be an asshole. That's what greatness is all about. Greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. So you know what Michael Jordan's going to do in this situation? He's going to remain cool, calm, and collected. He's not going to respond to the pure fucking beta supreme, the beta cuck male, the beta cuck male, the beta male that is Scottie Pippen. He's not going to do that. Because it would then bring out and bring down Michael Jordan's allure and esteem and prestige. He's going to let Scottie Pippen continue to song cry. He's going to make Scottie Pippen continue to plead. He's going to make Scottie Pippen continue to beg. Because when it's all said and done, we know why Scottie Pippen's doing this. He needs a fucking check. And when he gets that fucking check, watch how Scottie Pippen starts singing greatness about Jordan and starts saying, you know, you can't mess with MJ. MJ's the GOAT. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat true teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. I keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. When it's all said and done, Michael Jordan always has people that always have some deep-rooted and unseated issue with him. What you guys have to understand is if there's no Michael Jordan, there's no Kobe Bryant. Always remember that. I keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. I keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.